During my invocation, I talked about how I refer to the children that have passed on, that didn't come home from residential schools, as Manidobinojiag, the spirit children. And the reason why I like to think of them in that way has to do with their connection to the spirit. When they're first born and brought into this earth, they have a very strong connection to the spirit world. When they first come, they teach us that inherent gift of love, that unconditional love that children have for their parents, that parents have for that children. That's one of the 7 grandfather teachings we call Zogedwin, that love. And when they are that young, they go throughout this time in this physical place, playing, learning, interacting with one another, smiling, laughing, running around, jumping, climbing those trees, climbing these rocks, swimming in that water. That they are that beautiful term, the Nojiag, the children. And they're innocent in spirit. Nothing has impacted them, nothing has influenced them other than the love and that nourishing they get from their families. And when they left and they were taken from this place, taken from our First Nations and brought to residential schools, that is when they started to see those influences that had taken away their innocence. But they still remain so close to the spirit world that they still have that innocence. They still know what's right and what's wrong. They knew that what was happening to them wasn't right. And that's that pain that they carried while they were at school. So many of them ran off and died just running away from schools, suffering from the elements. Many of them died due to violence in these schools. But that doesn't diminish their spirit. In the spirit world, after they passed on and then taken up to the spirit world, they continue to be children. They continue to carry on that beautiful spirit of children. So when I think of Manidobinojiag, I don't think of them as spirits in pain or spirits that are suffering, that they have made that transition to the spirit world, taken them from this earth, from that such difficult place, up through the 8 levels of the universe, up to the spirit world, and are comforted by their clan, their family members that have passed on before them. They were welcomed back to the spirit world from them. They were welcomed with food, welcomed with blankets, welcomed with nourishment, with that love in the spirit world. Our great kind spirit Geshem and Ado has a place for them, and they are being comforted to this day. So I like to think of those young ones, those 215 are in the spirit world. They're laughing, they're smiling, they're playing, and they're thinking of us while we think of them. Through this memorial, we are remembering them. We are offering food, offering our prayers, and they are thankful for that. At the same time, we must be mindful that the National Center for Truth and Reconciliation estimates over 4,200 people that did not return from residential schools. They either are buried in unmarked graves or we've entirely forgotten about them. Only about 1,500 of those have names. We're not able to say the names or know who those others are. And that number those numbers are incredibly low. It's estimated that maybe towards 6,000 or 10,000 others might be in residential schools to this day. So it's a difficult time. Our hearts are with the families, our hearts are with the communities, and show them that love, show them that respect, and offer your tobacco, offer your prayers, because that is part of that journey and that part of that comfort that we are providing for First Nations, for Indigenous peoples across Canada, and especially for the families and the communities of those Manidobinojiag. Naham miigwech.